How you doing, guys? So I built this fence a couple years ago, and I built this gate. So I figured I'd put a little video together. I found all the footage. It's not great footage, but it works. I built this thing from scratch. As you can see, that's all just kind of, it's all built and painted. Put these poles in. I built these. I built those. I put the rollers on there. Laid the track. That's the motor, Alico motor, Alico, I guess it is. This is a few years later. I was able to keep it up straight because I put some material behind here. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like it's already cracking. I guess that's from the winter time. Fortunately, I have more of these, and as you can see, like with the road dirt, it tends to get dirty, and I have to clean it every once in a while, but it does come clean. All this comes clean. I just haven't quite figured out exactly how to fix that. But this is all made out of 4 foot by 4 foot gates with steel inside. I did everything, the concrete, you name it, I did it. Took a lot of research, but I gotta tell you, I really enjoyed it. Something to be proud of. Pretty nice. You'll see in the video that, you know, these rollers are pretty high on this side, and they get smaller and smaller. It's because we have such an incline here. But what I was able to do, I had a few slats left over for the longer fence that I put in somewhere else, and so I was able to cut them in half and actually use them as a skirt on both sides of this gate. So that's what I got. I'm gonna go ahead and get this going. So enjoy the video. Hopefully, if you like it, please like and subscribe. This is It's All Good Garage. Have a good one. So I got me one of them there fancy welders, and I bought 4 gates, 4 foot by 4 foot, from your average home box store. So I thought, how am I going to put these all together and make a rolling gate? So took a trip over to the metal store. Got me some of this 1.5 inch. A little too much 1.5 inch because I wasn't sure what I was going to get, what I was going to do. So I bought a whole bunch of it. Then I realized I can send it right through the center, or at least through the top rail. And then this bottom piece, I channeled it out, put into the bottom. So this sits up in there like so. Then got one of these fancy wheels. Got a bunch of them. You can attach them to the bottom of this, which would make this thing a rolling gate. So came up with the idea to slide this in here. So took a piece of this flat steel, cut a couple tangs out of it, and with my fancy welder, I welded them on there. It's absolutely horrible. I don't claim to be a welder, but it is what it is. But as you can see, worked pretty well. I'm gonna drill a few holes and put some screws in there. It's into the PVC. Same thing here. Then I'm going to go through here with some major self-tapping screws, go through here into there on each one of these sections. Okay, got it? And this, I'm going to cut this off here, and I'm going to weld a bolt into the end of this. This flat stock bolt. Then I'm going to make another bracket that comes across to here on an angle to the dangle. I have a piece of steel laying around. Yes, I do. All right. It's not long enough, but you get the idea. And I'll make it so that it bolts on, because I'm going to need a place. Because the gate is 16 and the opening is 14, I'll have a foot on either side of the posts. So my motor needs to sit on this side because I'm making it electric gate, of course. My motor, this little fella right there, I can't see him. Anyway, he's in there. He's gonna sit about here, and then we'll have the angle coming across, and we'll be able to put the chain here, and then the chain will connect to the other side of the fence, and then that'll roll across the gate. All right, so I have a track that I have to put across the asphalt, and I have to also make a good foundation for the motor to sit on so it doesn't pull out. Plus I need to put another post in. The post will go in the ground and kind of be right here. Okay? It's gonna be a standard post, and it's gonna have a roller up on the end of it. But the reason I want to make this boltable and unscrewable is because I want to be able to take it apart, and I want to paint it. I'm more than likely going to paint it black, because at the bottom it'll just kind of, you know, blend in as a void, kind of, and the top's hidden anyway. And then you'll see this, but only from the inside of the driveway. But anyway, that's my plan. Let's see if I can make it happen. Time will tell. So as I was saying, I bolted these in. Well, screwed them in. Some spacks and screws. Then I made this long return. Just please ignore the crappy welding. I'm not a welder. I just play on TV. Okay, so, and that's what we got. We got a fence. Now, I picked up these rollers. That'll go on the pole, or on the posts, one on each side. And as the fence comes through, it'll roll across. But hopefully it'll have enough balance standing up that won't be as loud and as obnoxious as it seems. But we will see. Only time will tell. But anyway, so far this is what I got. So what I want to do, I got these guys here, they're going to go back on. I think that'll work good. You see I screwed through here as well, all the way in. I might add a couple more, I'm not sure yet. So all I did here was just extend an outlet that was on the actual sidewall of the house. Got the electric running out here. The gate opener. As you can see, it rained just a little bit, but we got it done. There wasn't a cloud in the sky when we started, but as you can see, it's all finished up. Looks pretty good. Turned out all right. Come on! And here I have some brazing rod, and I'm welding all the tracks together. Well, brazing all the tracks together. I figured I'd like to have the track as one piece. It makes everything stronger, at least stretching across the driveway. The other pieces they bolt in by themselves, which is fine because they're on flat concrete, and concrete anchors are tighter. I'm not too familiar with these asphalt anchors. They came with like a hydraulic cement. But here it is a couple years later, and they're still working pretty good, so I guess I can't complain. But the track has not separated either since I brazed it. So, alright, here we go. I'm going to finish this up. Simple brazing. Nice big mess there. Yeah, it works. And here we have the entire 30-foot run, all anchored down in the asphalt and the concrete. And I'm pretty happy with it. Getting there. Another piece of the puzzle. Okay, so here I am cutting open the rail that goes across on each one of these gates. I'm using the trim cutoff tool, and that's cutting through the plastic pretty good. And I made a little template, marked each one of these, and cut a hole in it. So originally I was going to go through the top rail of the gate with the square tubing, and on the bottom I just cut a notch and the tubing was going to be exposed. And then after I started to think about it, reworked it in my head, I'm like, this isn't a good idea. So I decided to send it through the bottom too. Had to remake the angle on the frame itself because I had to shorten it, obviously, because now I'm moving it about, I guess, half an inch up, maybe more. Maybe about an inch up. But as you can see, I'm finishing up, checking to make sure it fits through there. And that looks pretty good. So I think it was a better design this way. Alright, I'm welding the nuts into the bottom bar that goes inside the gate, and that's where the roller mounts will attach to. And I'm going to go ahead and make all the other parts. Enjoy some music. it up. Little rattle can, you know. There's my brackets I made to hold the wheels, all different heights. This has got an incredible angle on this stupid driveway. And these guys I made, they go at the top. These go on the fence post, and then I have 2 chain link fence posts across from them to support the gate. Can't really do this with one hand. But you get the idea, right? They'll go across, and then after I get that in, I'll shoot them, because obviously they're not going to hold paint that well. But I'll give them a quick shot with the black, and just kind of blend them in. Getting there, and I got to put the fence back together. I think I got enough paint on this. And then I'll just touch it all up after I get it all together. All right, I'm out. Assembly day. Already got the other one in. It's pretty good. Little scratch. We'll touch that up. Then we gotta attach the other bar. Get all our wheels on. And I'll be back once I do that. Here's the piece I had to shorten. This is the extension from the bottom rod to the top rod. I had to cut it in half and actually shorten it. Welded it in real nice. Got it looking pretty good. Had to shorten it because I decided to go inside, like we had talked about. And this is just a picture to show the 2 rollers that I rolled the fence out on. I made them out of dollies. And this is the fence in place. Pretty close to there, but having a problem with the distance between the rollers because of those gaps. So that's about a 1/2 inch deep. So I bought some 1/2 inch boat material and cut it to fit in between. And then I had some extra slat left over from the fence, and I cut it in half, and I basically used it as a cover. And I covered each one of them, because I bought them in black. So I covered each one, put a few screws in, and you can't really tell. And there it is, the final product. Those are programmable clickers. They go with that Eleco motor, and you can buy a bunch of extra ones online, which I did through Amazon. Turned out really good. I'm real happy with it.